Feeding families and changing lives. That is what the St. Matthew's House is all about. Van Ellison is the CEO and president of the St. Matt's House. And Brittany Bartholomew is Justin's Place Recovery Program graduate. Did I get your last name right?
Bartholomew, close enough.
Okay, all right.
I know.
Well, good morning to you both. We are so excited to have you on. Brittany, you have a pretty cool story that we're going to share here in a minute. But Van, tell us kind of the background on the St. Matt's House and what people really need to know about what you guys do.
Well, we started as a local charity a few years back, mostly as a soup kitchen and a feeding ministry.
Wow.
And then a homeless shelter. And back in 2010, we launched a recovery program called Justin's Place Recovery Program for Men. Last year, we launched a women's component of that. And so in February, we're going to be celebrating 22 people graduating with a year clean and sober and really with some transformed lives. And it's inspirational to us to see young people, middle-aged folks starting over, but just having a new life and a new future opening up to them, free of drugs and just with the brightest of futures.
How incredible. I know not just inspirational to you, but as we share her story here in a minute, I know a lot of people are going to be inspired by it as well. But you're not just a homeless shelter. You mentioned recovery. What are we seeing as far as addiction in our area here in Southwest Florida?
Well, you know, addictions, we see the changing with culture. In years gone by, you saw a lot more other drugs. Now you're seeing more and more prescription drugs, people with opiates, and that's just becoming an epidemic right now, and it's really bad because those are fatal. You see people overdose deaths in Collier County and Lee County every week. And so it's not just about giving people a new start, it's really saving lives when you talk about the widespread opiate addictions today.
Well, and you said scary because fatal, which is so true, but it's something that's legal. It's not like you necessarily have to hide it. I mean, obviously a lot of people can really become dependent on stuff like that.
A lot of people, their addiction doesn't start with criminal behavior. It starts with a back injury. It starts with some kind of hurt, and then they find that the pills take away more than the physical pain, but take away and provide emotional comfort through some struggles, and they're addicted. And it's you know, with no evil or malicious intent, people find themselves trapped in a situation that they can't get out of, and it really, without outside help, they're stuck.
And again, that's why the St. Matthew's House is there. You guys are there to help those people in need. But your organization is growing. It's 2014 now. I know you guys have had a big year. You guys are getting bigger. How is the growth?
Well, it's been phenomenal. This last year was amazing. We saw not only the addition of the women's program, but we've taken over work within our sheriff's office, running the chaplains division within the jails. We've seen an expansion of our thrift stores. We now have 5 just beautiful stores that we're going to be operating this year, where we'll provide 60% of our own funding through social enterprise efforts.
Congratulations on that. That's incredible for you
guys.
guys.
Yeah, we don't need government support to provide programs. We have donors. We have social enterprise businesses that allow us to reach out and touch our community in a local way, so that the solutions we have here are Collier County, Lee County based solutions. They're not dictated by Tallahassee or Washington. It's local people really addressing the needs in our own community.
It makes a huge difference. And Brittany, how did you get involved in the St. Matthew's House?
I heard about it through a friend who was involved in the men's recovery program, and I was in some legal trouble, as I had been for quite a few years. And I have to be honest, you know, my motivations were purely selfish when I came into the program. It was a way to escape some legal consequences that I had brought on myself. And when I got in here and realized that it addressed so much more than just, you know, drug addiction and alcoholism, it addressed the root of the problem. I just kind of dove in head first and you know, got out of it what I could. So
well, it takes a lot of courage to sit up here and admit that and talk about your story. But what is your story, and what did you struggle with?
You know, I came from a really loving, normal home. 2 parents, 2 younger siblings. I went to school on a scholarship. I did great in high school, and I just kind of made some bad decisions in my life, and it just led down a road that I would have never guessed. You know, I was an opiate addict, and where it ended up was me living on the street, sleeping in Centennial Park for about 2 months, not knowing where the next meal was going to come from, not knowing what was going on with my family, which was probably the hardest for me, was that feeling of disconnect, and just a really hopeless feeling. You know, it never gets any easier laying your head down at night and not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring, and not knowing if anybody still even cares if you're alive. So when I came into the program, like I said, those motivations were selfish, but as things got added to my life, the blessings, you know, my family was reunited. I speak with my sisters now, which is probably one of the hugest blessings for me.
And congratulations on that. We have about 30 seconds left, so as we close here, just tell everybody, I know you have such an inspiring story. What is it about the program that you want people to know to kind of get them on the same track as you did yourself?
That it addresses a lot more than just the outside issues, that, you know, it's a place of healing, you know, internal healing, so.
And the need, like you said, with the number of addiction, the problem that we struggle with here, I mean, I'm sure you really depended on that and are so obviously so grateful for that too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Van and Brittany. It was great having you guys on. And again, you graduated when now?
It's February
We'll be
27th.
graduating,
Exciting.
Yeah.
So
Super exciting,
a round of applause for that.
Thank you.
We're so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Up next, the hilarious actress Kim Whitley and her take on motherhood in a way that you would never expect. How her new hit reality show, Raising Whitley, is coming up next.